I'm going to give you 3 key Bears players to watch closely at training camp, and it starts right now. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. Make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Let's get the obvious one out of the way, right? There's always going to be the absolutely obvious one. Justin Fields is somebody we're watching close at training camp. I think for all the same reasons that we've talked about all offseason, but finally getting to see that kind of piece together. I'm not worried. I saw some people who are really concerned about Justin Fields as a passer. How is he going to handle a heavier workload? How's he going to handle throwing the football a lot more? And I think that that's insane to me. Again, I need y'all to understand this. He was a passing quarterback in college. He was somebody who threw the football. He used his legs as an accentuation, very much like we want him to use it here. I think with wide receiver weapons, he's going to throw the football. We're going to be okay with that. But I do want to be able to key in and kind of see, okay, how is his timing on this? Is he letting this play go? And I will be at training camp. I believe we'll be there 7 days in total out of the whole training camp. We'll be recording the podcast from there, the Chicago Bears podcast from there daily. So tune in with us on that as well. But I think here's the main thing for me at the end of the day, when I'm looking at this Bears team and when I'm really trying to key in on what Justin Fields has improved upon. How's the timing with his receivers when they're breaking out of their route? Is he delivering the football quick enough? Of course, in training camp, you can't hit the quarterback, right? You're not going to be able to go out there and hit the quarterback. And that, not to say that's a problem or that's an issue, but there is something there where it's not going to be 100% of you telling of me getting an understanding of what can be, because Justin Fields doesn't have that threat of somebody coming in to hit him, even though, right, coaches will point out, okay, here's where you'd have got hit. You'd have got hit here. We need to do this here. But the things that I want to see is, how much quicker is the decision making? How quickly is he getting the ball out? How is the footwork looking while he's doing that? His footwork usually looks okay, but we did see some mechanical changes in his game coming from the offseason, last season, throughout the season, during the season, being able to work with Luke Getsy. And I want to see if that's continued to improve. I'm pretty sure that it has. I think that Justin Fields, like I said, is going to be fine as a passer. I think it's just all about that timing. Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comments below. What are you watching closest from Justin Fields coming into this training camp? I think that the other thing that maybe I'm watching really, really close is the decision making on fight or flight. And what I mean by that is, I know Justin Fields is willing to stand in the pocket and take a shot to try and complete a pass. But is it going to be to the point where, and you're probably not going to see this a ton in training camp because, again, you can't hit the quarterback, but is it going to be to the point where he's bailing out on plays too early? He's moving off of whatever that receiver is too early, or he's not making that move quick enough. I love how, David Kaplan brought this up when we had him on the Chicago Bears podcast, that what they did in Tampa was, after 2.5 seconds, that ball's got to be out on air horn blares, because then it's on time after that, right? I think Justin's going to have to build up to that point, but I would love to see him get that ball out in 2.5 seconds pretty much and be able to deliver a good football to whoever the wide receivers are out there at this point. My number 2 on the list of players to watch closest heading into training camp is Braxton Jones. I wasn't sold on Braxton Jones. Not to say I think he's bad. I just didn't think that he was your guaranteed starter of the future at that left tackle position. I think that there's improvement. You can't deny the improvement that he showed throughout the season. You can't deny what we saw from him on that left side throughout the season, especially going up against some of the best pass rushers in the NFL week in and week out. But I do think that there was just a ton of times where last season he was just out muscled. And so I want to see if that's going to continue. And that may be tough listen, we've had the conversation all offseason about pass rushers being in the, being very thin on this Chicago Bears team, right? Like when you look at the pass rush on this team, you don't feel like you have a Robert Quinn coming off an 18.5 sack season, which Braxton Jones talked about being a major help to him acclimating to the regular NFL. There is no Khalil Mack on this team, it doesn't seem like, right? Maybe you feel better about Demarcus Walker. Maybe you feel better about Dominique Robinson coming into this. Maybe Travis Gibson. Not to say it's going to be an easy time for him, but I just don't think that you have that same level of competition standing across from each other line to line. I really want to see kind of how Braxton is going to handle that bull rush. I'm sure that they got guys that they're literally just going to say, go out there and bull rush them and test this out. Because there were so many times last season where Braxton Jones, not to say that he let his man beat him, but you know, he's just falling into Justin Fields' lap. And I think that that's something where there were so many passes last season where Justin's throwing a good ball, but it's coupled with him getting hit. The goal this season for me is not just to cut down on the sacks. The goal this season for me is to cut down on the QB hits, cut down on the amount of time that people are actually touching Justin's jersey. Like, that's the real thing for me. And I think Braxton Jones is going to be a big, big part of that. I really want to see how he's improved in this offseason. I want to see what he's going to be able to do with that bull rush. I think he's pretty good at setting the edge already and does a good job of getting the hands out there. But the strength is the one thing that I want to see how much that's improved on him. And the technique when that bull rush is coming as well. How are you countering that? I don't think he had much of a counter for it last season. So I really want to see how he's countering that. Is he getting low enough? I mean, you're basically sitting in a chair at that offensive line position, right? Is he getting low enough? Is he sitting down enough to be able to keep guys from moving him back? He worked with Olin Kreutz this offseason, which is great to hear. And when you hear things about him working with Olin and how, you know, Olin basically saying that I only had to tell him once to do something and he got it like that. Like, those are the things that do excite me about what Braxton's game can be now, that he's a fast learner, that he's adapting to the things that are being taught to him quickly. So I do get excited when I hear things like that because, you know, it tells me that, okay, we could put things in front of this guy. We could send this guy out here and he's going to be able to make adjustments on the fly if, you know, somebody's doing something that is causing him issues in a game. Boom, he's going up against, who do we play? Did we play Cleveland this season? I think we do play Cleveland this season. He's going up against Myles Garrett, right? Myles Garrett hits him with a nasty swim move outside one time, gets to the quarterback, sack. Okay, how do we learn from that? Because we don't want to keep that happening all night. Okay, next time out, he's able to adjust to that. Okay, now Myles Garrett coming with the bull rush. Oh, next time out, he's able to adjust to that, right? And the fact that you can adjust to that in game, sometimes that'll be the thing that'll save your quarterback more times than not, because guys are going to come at you with different combinations, different moves on the other side, and they're going to try and get you off balance. You have to be able to get back to your core, get back to your center, and be able to make a move that is going to counter whatever the move they're making is. So hope to see what Braxton Jones has improved upon. Really excited to see that as well. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments below. Who's the person on this offensive line that you're most intrigued to see? I'm sure many of you are going to say Darnell Wright. I'm very excited to see him too, but I think Darnell's going to be pretty good. That left side still has me very, very concerned right now as a Bears fan. And then number 3 for me, man, I mean, listen, it's got to be Demarcus Walker. There has been, he's coming off a 7-sack season, and there is literally zero excitement about what he's going to bring to this team. And I don't like that. And I think that he knows and hears that, right? Like, all you got to hear it. We have no pass rush. We're not going to be able to rush the passer. We're not going to be able to get to the passer. We're not going to be. He's like, dog, I got to the passer last season. Like, what are we talking about here? I really want to see how he's going to be able to get to the quarterback. I think that he's taking this role on not as a, hey, this is a quick stop for me, but I think he's taking this role on as a, I can be a leader on this defense. I can be the number 1 on this defense. I can attack on this defense. And I think that's one key position. It's so key because if we get that one guy that can pass rush, it can open up things for other people who maybe are struggling to get off, especially when you look at this rookie class that the Bears are coming in with as well, with Javon Dexter, Zach Pickens. If you're able to put those guys out there, and now the focus is on Demarcus Walker, boom, now they're able to get to the quarterback a little bit quicker. Really want to see kind of how they're going to adjust their game, adapt their game, around what the rest of the defensive line is going to do. But that all comes with one guy being able to get to the quarterback. And the guy that excites me most on that is Demarcus Walker. I really think that he's a hard worker. We've seen him in the offseason. We've heard him talk about what he wants to come to this team and prove. And I just really want to see that play out on the field. And I think that this pass rush, This pass, I'm not going to say it's going to surprise people, right? Like, here's the thing. There was no pass rush last season. I don't think that's the case this season, right? Like, last season, you're talking about a team that was net negative 37 in sacks. You know what I mean? You're talking about a team that was net negative 37 in sacks. And I think that when you look at a guy like Demarcus Walker, yes, he was on that Titans defensive line that allowed him to be able to get to the quarterback a lot more, but he still was able to get to the quarterback. I think that he'll still provide good pressure. And I think that that's something that, listen, pressure breaks pipes. And when you're going up against some of the guys we're going to see this season, when you're looking at a Jared Goff, when you're looking at a Jordan Love, right, a Kirk Cousins, when those guys get pressure in their face, they don't react to it well. And now with Jared Goff, right, he's got probably the best offensive line in football standing in front of him. So there's that. But I really just want to see if we do already have that one pass rusher on this team. And I think that might be one thing the Bears are actually waiting for when you're sitting here talking about, you know, do we go out and get this guy? Do we go out and make this move? I feel like the Bears are looking at this and saying, I feel like we might have this guy already. Like, I wouldn't mind having a Yannick Ngakoue as well, but I feel like we might have this guy in the building already, and we just got to wait and see how this thing is going to play out. Now, at the end of the day, does that cause you to miss out on pieces? Is it a risk you can take? I think that that's more of my concern. I don't know if that's a risk you can take if you're going to go out and get a guy, especially a guy like Yannick Ngakoue, unless you're going to trade for a guy. We have heard through David Kaplan, who was on the Chicago Bears podcast, also from ESPN 1000, that the Bears are looking to sign somebody before training camp. That would mean either today or tomorrow. They're looking to sign somebody because training camp is cracking off basically Wednesday. So we'll see kind of what that ends up being. But I mean, for me, if I'm looking at anybody on this defense, and I think it's because the other pieces on the defense I have a little bit more confidence in already. I do believe in Tyreek Stevenson as a cornerback. I think that there could be a chance that by the end of this season, we're talking about him as possibly being our number one DB. I think his game is that good. I know what Jalen Johnson is going to bring. I know what Kyler Gordon in the slot can do. And so I think he's going to be able to accentuate his game there. I mean, Jaquan Brisker, Eddie Jackson, Tremaine Edmonds, right? I kind of already have those guys pieced together, but the key thing to make all of those guys 10 times better is pressure. And so I'm really looking to see if the Bears are going to be able to generate any pressure, really looking to see what Alan Williams has schemed up on all of this, man. And Demarcus Walker is my number 3 guy that I'm really looking closest at heading into training camp. But hey, I do want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. Who are the 3 players that you're looking closest at heading into training camp? As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bears content. Click the links on the screen or check the links in the description below. And if you're only here for Bears content, make sure that you check or subscribe to the Chicago Bears Breeze, where we take all our Bears videos and drop them over there as well. All Bears content all the time over there on the Chicago Bears Breeze. Also, the Daily Show is back. We are getting the Daily Show cracking off today. I will update you guys on date or on time frame on that throughout the day, so stay tuned with us in the community tab as well. And we're going to be getting ready, the Daily Show Monday through Friday, back at it again, and this time for good. We had to stop it to try and get the studio in order, just so because we actually had to work on the studio ourselves. So man, we're so excited for this, so excited to get to work. And football's back, baby. Let's get this one cracking. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.